They want us to MG.
Okay, well, we are live, ladies and gentlemen. This is Sal and Cbear. You are watching Fully Charged, and decided to show a little bit of the puppies because they're so cute. But we are here, of course, with me and Cbear, the hosts of the podcast. We've been here all 5 times, so, you know, I hope that we have established that anyway, that we're here to stay. And then our guests today are going to be Stabby Stabby and Truktruk. You can see that right down beneath the two of us. Cbear, why don't you give a little intro to our guests if you can?
We're joined by 2 platinum level. That's the highest level, right? It's platinum.
Yeah.
UGC spies. Stabby Stabby's considered the best spy in the game. I'm considered the worst. Truktruk is somewhere in between us, and
Probably like lower half platinum.
and we're going to talk about spy. We did a pyro episode. Sort of had a similar thing going on. We're gonna talk everything about spy. Why we don't see it more in 6v6. Highlander theory, loadouts, all sorts of good stuff. And then we're going to give out hats at the end. Yes. Hats.
I'm all for it, man. So what do we want to start talking about then? Should we start with a little bit of a rundown of how you guys got into the spy role? I want to ask maybe Stabby real quick. Give us a little intro.
How I got into spy? Well, I've been playing since release, so I don't really remember. I don't even remember what my name was before Stabby Stabby.
Oh
Just
my!
regular
I got my first backstab. I was like,
So cute. It's like, you must be named Stabby Stabby. Like,
you yes. So, you know, I just loved it from the start, just pupping, and got into Highlander a couple of years ago.
Sweet. Okay. And you've been doing an absolutely amazing job. We'll talk about all the trick stabs and the tutorials in a little bit. Truktruk, what about you? How'd you get into it?
I basically played like competitive 6s from like as soon as it was popular, like TWL and like SIVO days. And then I quit to play League of Legends. Probably the best decision of my life. Probably the best decision of my life. Then I decided like, wow, League of Legends isn't very fun. So I came back to TF2 and I'm like, what is this TF2 lobby stuff? Like, so I just joined TF2 lobby and I started playing Spy. I'm like, this is so fun. So that's it. I'm a spy, man.
you know, if you would have stayed with your League of Legends career, you could be making the $1 million payday or whatever they had last week.
I know, right?
Yeah, you could be streaming LOL and farming all them views, dude.
You could do Velociraptor farming or whatever they do.
Yeah, there probably is a Velociraptor in that game by now.
Probably is, actually. It's probably really overpowered and costs like all of the money in the game or whatever.
You can put a
Don't even
top
talk
hat
about
on it.
FOMO, Sal, because I'm gonna get physically ill if we do that. And, stream. I'll pull a hexagram, start drinking more than just this coffee.
Okay, well,
I want to ask real quick because I don't know if we even talked about it. Both you guys are popular streamers, so how did we get into streaming? Stabby, why don't you start? Because I know you have a YouTube channel that's very popular as well. So how did that come about?
the YouTube channel or the stream?
Well, I mean, both, I guess. So.
All right. The YouTube stream, the YouTube channel I started because I got pissed off at people calling bullshit at my stabs. So I decided to put them in videos. Then I grew to like making videos and decided to make them more productive than that. The stream, one of my subscribers said, "Hey, Stabby, you should stream." It's like, "What's a stream?" And they were like, "Well, you can make money." I was like, "Okay."
That's sweet.
That's about it. And then it was really fun, you know, like interacting with people and, you know, sharing all your triumphs and fails live. It was just a good time, so I kept doing it.
What about you, Kurt? Start getting into streaming.
I just like watch Lang stream. I'm like, hey, Lang, how do I stream? And he just helped me. That's literally all that happened.
Just like Lang. I should do this as well.
I was like, hey Lang, how stream? And he's like, hey Truck, here stream. Then he did it for me, and that's how I did it. Long story.
Lang is that guy, though. He's helped us set up Skype. He helped us a lot with the production of this. He is always there for like the TF2 technical support. I don't want to pigeonhole him into that role because he's also really good at TF2 and a hilarious guy on his own stream. But yeah, he's been helpful. So
yep.
with that little aside,
and he saved our show last week.
Yeah,
God.
The savior of TF2.
By the way, I want everyone to know that I gave both of these fine young men a field sobriety test before the show started,
yep.
So we didn't have a last week, and they both passed with flying colors. So they're both sober enough to talk to you without being, you know, white trash.
There you go. Oof.
Oh my god.
Harsh. I will say, I don't want to be too harsh because Hex did apologize in a stream. Yeah, no, yeah.
It was funny.
It was hilarious.
I have to say, Sal, I got more people that messaged me afterwards because of that
Yeah.
recharge thing than anything I've ever done in TFT. Any match I played in back when I was playing, and any cast I've done, even the LAN where we had thousands of viewers and stuff. It was like, oh my god, hexagrams, blah, 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 blah. And I was like, yeah, I mean, he was drunk. It's pretty funny. But so I guess we should thank him because they talked about the show for some reason, and that's always good.
We're generating a buzz. That's in more ways than one.
Yeah.
Oh, somebody says I look Irish, but I don't have the accent. I mean, I could do the accent, but it all boils down to diddly dee potatoes. That's all I got. So, sorry, we're gonna move on a little bit. We're gonna talk about spies. So my first experience with spy was getting stabbed. I have my least amount of play time is on the spy. It's like 20 hours out of 1,000 or 2,000 or some crazy number. Yeah, no, I hardly ever play the spy. I'm terrible at it. So as much as anything for me, this is going to be very enlightening. But my first experience with it was back playing on pub servers, and I would get face stabbed and get really upset about it and be like, "No, that is bullshit. I hate these face stabs. I'm looking at him. I'm looking at him. You know."
This reminds me of a question that I had for both of these young men. Is there a technique to getting a face stab? Like, do you do something?
I don't know.
That's where we're going. That's where we're going here.
He's nodding. There is a way. I want to know because I feel like I get face stabbed.
This will be the center of my next video, as a matter of fact. Waiting. So you guys are going to be getting face stabbed a little more.
Okay.
No, please no.
Should I say how it's done? It's pretty
yeah,
simple.
absolutely.
Please, I need to know.
Absolutely.
Open that Pandora's box. You're going to ruin TF2 forever.
Well, this helps you avoid it too. So what you do is you charge them, right? You're holding down W as you're approaching them. They've got their momentum coming at you, hopefully. They're coming at you. You let go of W, you switch to your strafe key, and you snap your view in the opposite direction you're strafing, like as fast as you possibly can, and like almost a 180, and you click at the same time. And you will find you yourself getting many, many face stabs if you do that.
Wow.
Kurt, you got to take notes, man. We need
I
these
need to practice my
level
face
techniques
stabs in
for
an empty
gamers.
server.
Wait, so is there a trick name to that stab? We have like the Matador stab and the Velociraptor stab, which is I guess we just scream at them.
I call it the strafe and snap.
The strafe and snap. That's
catchy, right? Yeah.
Yeah, makes sense.
I hope so. I
alliterative.
Just pulled it out of my butt, so.
It's better than I would have done pulling it out of mine. But all right, that's pretty cool. Kurt, so you ever try any crazy stuff to try to that RNG luck to get a face stab when you?
No, I honestly don't know how to do a face stab until he just told me. But like, I don't use a dead ringer much, so I don't like go for trick stabs that often. But when I do, oh my, it feels so good. Like, you just feel like, holy crap! Like you're just like walking up a staircase and you just like get pot shotted by a scout from far away. You don't even have to look. You just jump straight up in the air, and half the time you still get it. It just feels so good. Usually I scream when I do it because oh my god! Like you just feel like it's like a moment. Like it's like you have like this little intimacy between you and the other player, and it just lasts for like 5 seconds. And if it happens, just like TF2 is pretty much uninstalling like after you kill him on his computer. Like.
I was gonna say, is there anything that makes people more angry than the face stab? For me, I really hate getting headshot a lot, but getting face stab is probably the universal make someone mad thing. So, Stabby, you're gonna make a lot of TF2 players angry. How dare you?
Well, yeah. When I've got my Uber saw out, for instance, and I'm trying to engage a spy. What's the best way for me to do that without getting face stab, matador stab, whatever else? Is there a good way to do that?
Don't just hold W and go straight at them because then they can sidestep you and get the stab. So just straight towards them and keep your cursor on them.
If you like aim at the spy, like it does damage and it can kill them too.
Yeah. That helps. don't melee them. I see all these medics. They've got their nice needle gun and they go in. Like I'm gonna punch this guy in the face and.
Okay, so do damage is okay.
You can like if you put like 99% of the time, if you put your crosshair on the enemy player, it actually does damage if you left click. Like almost every class.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you like, I have a notepad file of tricks, and that's like right at the top. It's right at the top. I highly suggest that everybody makes one of those.
I learned something today.
And people wonder why the gorgeous gamers are so good at Highlander and TF2 in general, because we have this is our fearless leader, ladies and gentlemen, dishing out the secrets, how to actually click on people. But Stabby, you said something that I was wondering what your opinion is of like the best spy loadout. I'm assuming you have a lot of stuff that you do depending on the situation. So why don't we go like pub, Highlander, maybe if you're playing a 6v6 pug or something and you're playing a lot of spy, what do you find as best loadout for your likings or efficiency?
Yeah, well, I mean, Highlander, I'm switching loadouts all the time, depending on the situation, like you said. And, you know, that's kind of complex to just say what the best loadout is for certain situations. It's kind of nuanced. But for pubbing, Sahar and Spy with the DR, it's OP.
With the Dead Ringer?
With the Dead Ringer, yeah.
Okay. All right. Yeah, pubbing is, I mean, nobody has a united front, so it's really easy to get behind and get the initial stab, right?
There's no pyros running in circles constantly shooting their flame. Well, some people they do that for that's their fun for TF2, just trolling spies. But usually in pubs, people don't care. Like they just go. Like it's awesome.
How about revolver spot? I'm guessing I've heard a lot of stories about the Stabby Stabby Ambassador. Is that sort of your always equipped weapon? Do you use the revolver? Do you use a little snub nose pistol that does 1 million damage?
No.
Is that even legal in Highlander? Like, I don't even know.
It's not. It's not.
Okay, I didn't think so.
Is it?
Yeah, the Enforcer's banned.
Why?
Okay, good. Because it can two-shot scouts and medics.
But the Wrangler, you know, that's...
Yeah, good point.
That sucks, Sal, because I love that gun. If I'm playing Spy, I'm blasting people with that thing. Not even going for backstabs, I'll fail. I just shoot people with that.
Oh yeah, the Enforcer, it's great.
It's
dude.
Amazing.
Enforcer crits, if you get a crits medic on you in a pub and just use the Enforcer, it's hilarious. That's half of my playtime is Spy. It's just running around and getting Enforcer critted.
Hopefully that's the next Reddit weapon challenge.
Oh man! It requires 2 people to do, yeah.
Yes. Okay, so Ambassador, you said Truck, what about you? What's your favorite?
I prefer the regular Spy one. It just feels like Scout, kind of. Just Scout with 1 pellet that does 45, 50 damage. The Ambassador, in my opinion, is way better from like distance, but up close, I think the pistol is way better. Just because like you need to hit him 3 times to kill him usually at almost any class, and the Ambassador you need to hit him twice, but you have to get a headshot too. And the consistency with that is you have to be very accurate to consistently hit headshots with the whatever it's called, Ambassador. So I prefer the pistol.
People do it.
I think they're situational. The one thing I love about the Spy, there's so many weapons, and they're all like viable in certain situations. Like it's pretty nice.
What about the actual knife? Situationally? You run around with the little icicle thing in Highlander because you don't want to get lit on fire. I'm sure that's probably happens a lot, considering how many times I'm
actually learning that weapon. Like I actually just found one a couple of weeks ago.
What's so hard? You don't get on fire the first time.
Well, you have to make sure you have enough time to recharge the knife so you actually can do something, or you have to know if you're in a good enough position to use your gun. Yeah. So it depends.
Okay, my question is, sorry. Just if you're cloaked and you're running around with the icicle and you get lit on fire, does it show you, or does it just cancel everything out and you're fine?
It gets if you're invised. Knife, right?
It just goes whoosh.
Yeah.
And the Spy will still go fire, fire, fire. So there's an audio cue, but you don't see anything.
Okay, that's fair enough. I was just wondering. I don't know. I'm dumb.
So I want to ask about some situational stuff, since the Spy is very situational. The first question I got is you're pushing in Badlands or Granary last as a 6v6 team. What loadout do you go for as Spy?
I would stock or maybe like Cloak and Dagger, so you could just sit there and wait till your team pushes in.
Hate the Cloak and Dagger. I hate it, Sal. That's like one of my least favorite weapons of all time.
You mean Dead Ringer?
That's just obviously better if they don't have pyros, right?
Yeah.
I'd probably run that. And Cloak and Dagger IW.
You ever run the Cloak and Dagger? What's your opinion on it? I hate it, but I don't play Spy. I hate the concept of it. I think it sponsors really slow play. Like you can just sit there and I'm invisible and now you're just walking by. We used to run it on my team. We would on Gravel Pit. We'd have someone just sitting in A permanently invisible and call everything that was going on. And then he'd go for a stab, and by the time he respawned, he'd be ready to fight again. And I was like, this is so cheesy, but it helps, so
You can do great blind deaths with the demo man, too.
Oh, yeah?
You know, just have...
It's a Syndicate style, so...
Or we could all be Banny.
Yes.
You remember the Banny 4K against Mix-Up? Or was it
On Granite?
Mihai's Flow? Yeah. Yeah.
That was pretty sick.
Yeah, it was.
We
Okay.
chips, though, so.
Okay, so it's a different situation then. We're playing Highlander on Badwater, and you're pushing the cart towards point 2, you know, with the roof. So what loadout is good there against a team like, you know, Gorgeous Gamers?
Anything. Just kill Cbear because he's never able to turn around. What, on attack or defense, Al?
You're attacking as the spy, so attacking.
Okay.
Attacking where? The last point?
The enemy's set up on the roof with a sentry, the second point. You know what I'm talking about?
Okay.
So they're set up on the roof with a sentry, and maybe they got a pyro up there trying to help be a pie bro. So a lot of setup on the roof. What do you use as a loadout there? How do you break it?
Go ahead,
Yeah.
Stabby. You know
okay.
a lot.
Ah.
Wisdom. I can give my opinion, but it's almost never right. So.
Come on.
Well, but it'll
Well,
foster
what
discussion.
What I like to do is that this gives the impression that I always use these, but I do like the Dead Ringer and the Ambassador and the Stock Knife in this situation, because with the Dead Ringer you can push that cart. With the Ambassador you can get behind the line and snipe the NG on the roof.
Oh, you
anyone else on the NG,
Yeah.
or anyone else on the roof. And you can also get in there and just sap for the Uber without dying. Make a quick way. So there are a lot of things that you want to do in that situation that you can do with those.
So speaking of sapping, when you're going in for a sap, do you ever try to coordinate with your team? And if so, how exactly does that work? Like who communicates? Who initiates that? Who says, okay, we're attacking, please sap now? Or how does that work?
When I get behind them, I usually just like keep telling, are we in? Are we in? Are we in? And as soon as they say okay, I just go. Like, it's very hard to like for what I picture the enemy teams doing, they're like trying to focus on like what's going on because our team's in, we're fighting.
Mm-hmm.
So it's much easier to get behind and get a pick on the demo, or if the medic didn't pop, get the medic. Okay. So usually that's what I do.
I just try to let them know in advance that I'm going to be sapping. You know.
Okay.
Okay, question for you guys, for both of you, because I play NG, and I might be lagging. I don't know. I heard lag. Is it my end?
Yeah, the stream's lagging for me.
Oh.
Or the Skype call is lagging. Skype call.
Yeah,
see
it's
if
like
it's
a
not-
robot thing, but can we hear each
Oh
other still?
no!
A little bit. Oh boy, Sal, you're kind of. It looks like you're having bandwidth trouble.
That's very
It's getting blurry. for me.
weird. It shouldn't be.